Now that we're going to be dividing decimals, I have a couple examples up here. Again, we don't line up the decimal like we would when we're adding or subtracting, but I do want you to notice how I've written each number in a different box on the graph paper. Anytime you're dealing with decimals or math in general, I really recommend using graph paper. It helps keep your numbers organized and your material organized. So as you can see, I've written out these problems. Now, when we divide 0.12, or 12/100ths, divided by 48, we can't just divide this number. You cannot divide by a decimal. So we're going to turn this into a whole number. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to simply move my decimal point. So I'm going to move it 2 places because now 12 is a whole number. But whatever I do to this number, I also have to do to this number. This is our divisor, and this is our dividend. So whatever I do to the divisor, I have to also do the dividend. So I moved my decimal 2 places. Well, first you have to find the decimal. The number 48 is a whole number. Therefore, the decimal point is right there. So I move this one 2 places. I move this one 2 places. Okay? But now what do I put in here? I put zeros. And I have to extend my fraction bar. Okay, so now I have a whole number that I can divide by, 12 and 4800. So I'm going to divide 4800 divided by 12. 12 goes into 48 4 times. Okay, and then we have our 2 zeros and our decimal point. I didn't mention it because it didn't play into effect in this problem so much, but it's very important that you bring this decimal up. And you'll see that on some of our other problems. For our next one, 3.5 and 7.0. So we're going to divide 7 divided by 3.5. This already has the number in it. So I want to make this a little bit of a larger number. So I'm going to change this into 7.5. And we'll see how this changes. So remember, we have to move our decimal. We can't divide by a decimal. So I'm going to move it 1 place there. So I move it 1 place there. And by having this number, I want to show you, after I've moved it, I have another number here. I'm going to have a decimal for an answer. I must bring that decimal point up. That is key. Many people get this type of problem wrong because they forget to bring the decimal up. So we've moved it and we shoot it straight up. So now we have 35 divided by 70. Well, that's 2. So 2 times 35 is 70. Okay, remember when we divide the process, we bring this 5 down. Uh-oh, 35 doesn't go into 5. We can add a 0 because this hasn't changed the problem. We bring the 0 down. 35 goes into 50. Oh, I'm sorry. When we said 35 doesn't go into 5, we have to add a 0 there. So now 35 goes into 50 1 time. It's 35. I subtract, we have 15, and we can go on from there. The key to this is knowing that you move the decimal place over. So we move it over here and we bring it up. So let's do one more down here. We move the decimal place, so here we have to put a decimal in, and we're going to move it over and bring it up. Right here, we add our 0. Okay, so 4 goes into 24 6 times. 6 times 24, or I'm sorry, 6 times 4 is 24. We bring this 0 down, and we have another 0. So our answer was 60.